Over the past 4 years, I've worked diligently to grow my business, 99 in St. Clair. And while I reached six figures in 2021, a coveted milestone for many freelancers, the story isn't about how I reached that success. Instead, I'm going to tell you why I've decided to walk away from it all and leave the design world behind. To get where we are today, we have to go back to 2016 when I unintentionally took over our communications department at my 9-to-5. With no other experience other than being an internet-driven millennial, I started my journey into being a highly productive, creative yes man. Over the next 3 years, I took on projects like redeveloping our website, creating video campaigns, and growing our social media. I even started an initiative surrounding women in construction to bring more awareness to those individuals working in careers such as electrical, plumbing, HVAC, that was picked up by PBS. And without hesitation, began overworking myself in order to prove my value to others. But what I didn't understand about becoming this yes man in my early years of my career was that I was actually hurting my momentum within my journey itself. And by 24 years old, I'd actually reached peak burnout from working full-time at this organization while also going to school full-time. I took 7 classes a semester. So trying to find a new job just really wasn't going to cut it for me. Ultimately, I ended up just kind of reaching out to a few of our partners and saying, hey, you don't have a me on your team. Let me come help you. Let me come do what I'm doing at this organization and help you guys out. And so my first assignment was filming a Texas barbecue cook-off, which, looking back, my stomach is still so full. And before I knew it, I had close to 40 clients under my belt in my first 6 months. What I failed to recognize was how burnt out I truly was, and I quickly began masking that exhaustion by justifying that I had new projects. I'm working till midnight, but look at this project. That was very consistent language that I was telling myself and really trying to justify what I was doing because I had groceries to buy, I had rent to pay. There were so many things I think a lot of us as freelancers, especially at the beginning, we recognize as I have to do anything that I possibly can to make this work. Looking back, the amount of work I did and continued to do up until a few months ago was absolutely insane. And even recently on TikTok, I've been seeing a lot of psychologists talk about burnout, that it can take 3 to 5 years to even recognize and start to recover from the burnout we're feeling. So since hearing that, I've started to look back and realize that instead of healing from my day job burnout that I absolutely know that I had, I masked that burnout with new projects and that burnout from those projects with new projects. And then all of a sudden COVID hits. And did I let that slow me down? Y'all already know what the answer is. It's no. I did not. I feel like when COVID hit, it lit a larger fire under my business because at the time I was still working with impact brands and really leaning into museums and nonprofits who traditionally don't make time for their marketing, their website. And so when COVID hit and they had to shut down, they had time to think about those projects. And so all of a sudden, I was getting an influx of people wanting to work with me because they had time to focus on sustaining their business online, which was something they didn't necessarily have to do before February of 2020. And so for full context, between 2020 and today, I have worked with more than 13 countries and over 75 clients. So from that, I know that that is a lot, but that's not all because I was seeing myself and thinking that I was bored when really I was exhausted. And so on top of all of that work, specifically, if we want to get into data, I did 28 websites last year in 2021 alone, okay? Don't recommend that to anybody. But I was thinking I was bored instead of exhausted. And so I, from there, was like, I need to do more. So what did I do? I launched a couple of courses. I started a community. And through that, I then found Notion, which ultimately started my Notion creator journey. I just didn't know any better, guys. That's what I want to say first and foremost. I did not know any better. I didn't understand the difference between boredom and exhaustion. I never stopped in this vortex to literally ask myself, do you even like doing this shit? Or are you doing it because this is what the industry trajectory is telling us to do? If you look at any designer, really who is kind of making their way to the top. They have a program, they have a course, they have a podcast. And so I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do in this trajectory. And for those waiting for the cliffhanger, the answer is no. I don't like any of this. I could care less about making a dope logo. I don't care about developing the next best UI website. I don't even care when Squarespace rolls out updates. I just don't care. And I wanted myself to care so much. But what I have recognized through all of the reflection I did during Q1 was that I actually care more about helping people build their business internally and determine things like their customer journey. I love creating Notion systems that help businesses run more efficiently. And only after that, only after businesses are more confident in their foundation, in their systems, do I care about external identity. So in doing this reflection, I was left with one question. What the fuck do I do now? I'm taking a Gen Z approach to this and I'm saying, fuck it all. To truly become the badass that I feel like everyone thinks that I am and have clarity and confidence in my own value. Before we get crazy though, let me just say, 99 in St. Clair is not going anywhere. 99 is me. As much as I would love to change my business name, walk away from it, many of you have told me in one-on-one conversations, do not do this. This is your brand, so just keep it. So if you've been following me online for a while, you know that I've been diving into Notion like a mad woman, starting with developing Notion for designers, doing custom builds. And then last week, if you haven't heard yet, I became Notion's 40th certified Notion consultant in the entire world. Which is kind of the ultimate honor that Notion can give you as a creator. The next step is to basically just go work for them. And that's what makes me happy. Not making a logo, not being able to say, yo, I made that website. That doesn't give me life. What gives me life is building for others and also this channel. I fucking love you guys. I love making content, but the thing about the way I was working before, I thought about myself and my thoughts and the expertise that I have after client work. I was so focused on making sure that everything was right, that clients were happy, that I was never prioritizing the things that I want to do. I love making videos. I love sitting down and talking to you guys and giving you advice on how to grow your business. And that's what I want to do. So in doing this reflection and thinking back, I've been literally left with one question of what the fuck do I do now?
Here we go, pivot! Pivot!
So I am going to into being a full-time Notion creator for small teams. But I'm going to be raw and unfiltered when I say this, that I plan on building in public. So this video was really kind of ripping off the Band-Aid, was the first step in allowing me to speak publicly about the journey I'm about to take. I didn't want to just hop on Twitter and say, okay, I'm renaming my business or I'm doing this and doing that. And so I wanted to make this video so that way as you see my next pieces of content over the next couple of months, you understand the journey I'm taking. And I really hope that you stay on this journey with me and I can continue to support you as you grow or pivot yourself. But also, let me just say, for those of you out there, I am taking a much-deserved break to prune my plants, drink some good coffee, and even read in the afternoons. I'm bringing back my daily siestas, so have no fear. I'm not overworking myself in this pivot. So before I let you go, I just want to share one final thought that really kickstarted this hyper regrowth for me. And that was that I was so focused on others valuing me. And so much so that I have consistently heard, I don't know how Sarah does so much. I don't know how she's doing all of these things. How is she building so many projects? And it was because I wasn't valuing myself. I wasn't valuing my time, my health, my sanity. I wasn't valuing my own ability to recoup and rest in order to do better the next round. I mean, when we look at 2021, in full transparency, I had a new client almost every 10 days. And throughout the last 4 years, I've sometimes heard, hey, you should slow down. Hey, you should, just take a break. Like, it doesn't have to be done right this minute. And I used to get so pissed off at people for telling me to slow down because I looked at it as they kind of saw me as competition and they didn't want to have to compete so hard, when really other people were seeing my burnout and my exhaustion. And I was not. I was not seeing it. I feel like I've definitely been in denial. And so I really just wish I would have listened to them and not taken it so personally that someone was telling me to chill out. I didn't recognize it as detrimental. And when I look back now, everything that I did, none of it was sustainable. None of it was scalable. I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I made 6 figures. But I had no candle burnt left. I had nothing left to give, which means something had to change. Something had to be let go. And through all of this reflection, I've realized that is letting go of everything I don't give a shit about. And so if I can give you any kind of advice, it is to just stop and smell the flowers, chill out, slow down, and really take the time to see what it is you like and what it is that you don't like, because this is your business. You don't have to do things that you don't want to do. It's okay to pivot and take a break, recoup, figure out what your trajectory is, and go from there. And I just wish I would have listened to that a couple of years ago, because I feel like I would be in a much different place now had I done that. So no coffee today, but cheers to a new adventure and doing dope shit that you love to do. Thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, I have a few videos here for you to check out. And if you haven't done so, I would love it if you smash that subscribe button so you can officially join our squad and not miss another video again. I do post every Monday, so I'll see you soon.